Bitcoin is close to all-time highs, and usually as the market heats up, as we go higher and higher, there's a capital rotation happening from Bitcoin and Ethereum to the more risky tokens, potentially the small meme coins on Solana. Now in this video we are going to look at the Troll token. Because here's the thing with Troll. Troll has very positive momentum, but at the same time, the market cap is still relatively low. Because that's what we want, right? We don't just want to buy a falling knife. We want to buy something that has positive trajectory, but that isn't yet that large that it can't grow any further. Now here's the situation with Troll. In the last month, the price roughly tripled. The market cap though is still below 40 million. And there are plenty of meme coins in the hundreds of millions, potentially even billions of dollars. Yet it's already the 7th largest trending token on the Solana chain based on liquidity, not based on market cap. In the last 24 hours we saw more than 5,000 wallets interacting with the token, with the vast majority being buyers, of course. That's what's pushing up the price. It looks like the community is still comparatively small. So on X.com, formerly known as Twitter, we've got 11,000 followers. In the Telegram channel we've got a bit under 9,000 members. There's also an Instagram account, there's 252 followers here. And on-chain, on Solana, we've got roughly 22,000 wallets that hold the token. Now those kind of numbers do make sense. They align somewhat, right? There are probably less followers on Twitter than there are investors on-chain. And 22,000 does make sense with respect to potential further growth, right? There are plenty of meme coins with hundreds of thousands of holders. And it looks like we are still early because most trading volume still happens directly on chain. It's on Pump.fun with 11 million worth of trading volume. That's more than on MEXC or XT.com, where the token is also listed, but where there's definitely no active market making. And so here we go. Here are Pump.fun ecosystem tokens. We are below 40 million in market cap for Troll, and there are plenty of tokens above 100, potentially also above 200 million. So a 2-3x is definitely very reasonable. The momentum tends to heat up. So on the left side we have the number of new versus recurring traders. On the right side we've got the number of token transactions per day. Especially yesterday we have seen a massive spike of new first-time traders. We can ignore the latest data point because today has just started. Here is the trading volume over time. Initially a lot of activity after launch, then it slowed down, and yesterday the token woke up again. It looks like the whales are interested in the Troll token the most. The number of whales is going up faster than the number of retail investors. The way you make this distinction is by looking at how many tokens are held in each wallet. For the chart on the left, that's 25,000 tokens, so that's roughly $1,000 worth of the token. For the chart in the middle, it's $10,000 worth of the token. For the chart on the right, it's $100,000 worth of the token. The number of whales is close to an all-time high. The number of small retail investors isn't growing as quickly. Here's an overview of the overall token supply. What is held by small retail versus medium-sized retail versus large, and of course the whales. The whales tend to accumulate the token the most. They are currently mainly responsible for this rally. Small retail is buying in as well, but the whales are buying in faster. And so usually a meme coin on Solana can grow to roughly 200 or 300 million until it needs to get pushed by market makers and by centralized exchanges. Currently the demand seems to be organic. It seems to be mainly concentrated by the whales. But even if we just stay on chain, even if we don't see any major listings on the centralized exchanges, a 2-3x is realistic. After that we have to watch the centralized exchanges closer. I'm not yet convinced that we are already in altcoin season. I personally stay away. I rather bet on falling altcoin prices, especially of the altcoins that are very, very large, that don't have that much more upside potential. And for the smaller, riskier bets, I'm waiting for the Bitcoin dominance to go higher first, because that historically was the best signal for the start of altcoin season. Here is the Bitcoin dominance over time. So how much of all of crypto is in BTC? And this tended to peak out somewhere at around 73-72%. When this is crashing, then Bitcoin becomes less important as a part of all of crypto, and the altcoins rally massively. Currently we are not at 73%. Currently we are only at around 60%. So I'm waiting for this Bitcoin dominance to further rise, potentially for the next 12 months even. And at that point, right, once we go above 70%, that's then when I buy the smaller alts like Troll. So right now it's still extremely risky to buy the smaller alts. If you decide to get into Troll because of the positive momentum and because of the potential upside, make sure that you've got your position size in place, right? Don't bet half of your portfolio on a bet like this. the market environment, I believe, does not really warrant to go too much risk on just yet. Now, I'm trying to approach this channel here slightly differently to other crypto YouTubers. Most crypto YouTubers, they take money from other crypto projects, or maybe they buy into a small crypto project. They have some vested interest and then afterwards promote it on the channel, and then potentially with all of that additional interest, which pushes up the price, they then dump on the following. I never do this. I never promote any individual cryptocurrency that I previously bought. I also never take any money from any crypto project. I try to be as neutral as possible. I try to have no conflict of interest here. Most other channels also don't show their trading history, as in how successful are they. And they're also not willing to share the trades in real time, maybe allow for copy trading. But I'm willing to do this. This is my personal return, so that's the black line, relative to if I had just dollar cost averaged into Bitcoin. That's the light gray line. This is a monthly chart, so this is roughly 4 years of data, a bit less than that. And this outperformance here comes from relative valuation bets, right? We talked about this several times on the channel. Most altcoins tend to do worse than Bitcoin most of the time. And we can make money from that, right? From all of that token inflation. When the insiders dump on the retail investor, when the KOLs dump on the retail investor, when the early venture capitalists, when they get their token allocation and then dump on the retail investor, then there's actually a chance to make money from that by betting on the altcoins to do worse compared to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Because Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana doesn't have that much token inflation. All those smaller, crappy altcoins do. And so long term, they tend to just do worse. And so I made a lot of that outperformance with borrowing and lending platforms. So I borrowed a bad altcoin and then swapped it into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. That's how I made this delta. I then moved over the strategy to perpetual futures. I did this for 2.5 months. And that worked out even better. I did this with some experimental money, 40K, and it returned almost 50% over those 2.5 months. Of course, there's some volatility in this, but still 50%. And so as I did this and as I shared my trades in real time with the premium members, I got more and more requests. Can't I just open a capital pool? I deposit to that pool and you do the trading for me. And I finally just started that. So this is now 6 days ago. We started the copy trading vault. It's already up 3.5%, but of course we don't know how this develops long term. We are now moving more capital, but I'm offering this to the annual subscribers of premium. So there's a dedicated tutorial how to deposit to the Bitcoin strategy copy trading vault. That's on the platform called Hyperliquid. It's an 18-minute video. It explains everything step by step. And then you don't have to follow the individual trades that I share, but instead you just get the exact same performance that I get. Both the gains, but also potentially the hard times. Nobody knows how this is going long term. It worked very well with borrowing and lending platforms. It worked very well on my first test initially. And I'm working hard that it will continue to work as I'm trading with your capital. But yeah, you can still execute the trades yourself. I'm still sharing this all in real time in premium. You can also discuss potential opportunities with the community. Right here are some example trades. But the active approach is for people that don't have as much capital, but that do have some time. So that's for the monthly membership. That's currently at 125 per month. If you don't have the time, then you can simply subscribe for the yearly membership. Then I will send you all the information how to enter the copy trading. And that's for people that have more capital, but of course less time. The yearly membership, by the way, also saves some money, $250 per year. So you're only paying for 10 out of 12 months. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish these regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you next time on YouTube or see you in premium. Cheers.